and do a little video just talking about the fact that I'm back on Linux. I have really enjoyed my time with Windows, and that's kind of what this video is going to be about. It's kind of going to be a Windows, little review of my journey through Linux, to Linux through Windows for the past, few months. I'm going to go ahead and just be honest with you guys. I'm probably going to say some things in this video that will probably piss quite a few of you off. I don't like that. YouTube's algorithm does, and I'm sure my ad revenue will go up because of this video, but just know, if I do piss you off in this video, if you really want to, actually diss me or, negatively impact me, just don't comment. If I piss you off, just leave the video. Hopefully I don't, though. Okay, so first off, I've been using Windows 11 for, good lord, if you've been keeping up with me, which I haven't posted anything in a while I've been using Windows. I've been working on a game, and before the end of the year on my Dell laptop, I was using Windows 10 on it. Mainly because it has an all AMD configuration, AMD APU with an AMD graphics card, and Linux doesn't like that one bit. So, just performance wise, I went with Windows, and also at the time I was wanting to refresh my knowledge with Unreal Engine, just in case there was a possibility, and technically still is a possibility, that I might get a job using Unreal. So I want to make sure that when an interview does come up, I'm actually ready for it and have the skills, ready to go. The thing is I didn't have that bad of a time with Windows 10, but Windows 10, the telemetry is just, it's clearly obvious. You don't have to have someone tell you that Windows is spying on you with Windows 10. It just tells you itself. It's so just nonchalant about it. It doesn't care. It's if you notice I'm spying on you, that's cool, because you should know I'm spying on you. There's a lot about Windows 10 where it didn't perform bad, but there's a lot of stuff about Windows 10 that I just didn't like. Also, this is the one that if you watch me, I'll always come back to. It comes with Candy Crush pre-installed. I don't know what brain dead fucking piece of shit decided that any OS should come with Candy Crush pre-installed. Straight up, can we all just agree? Fuck you. Whatever guy who decided that, or whatever deal was made for whatever amount of money. I don't care how much money was involved in the deal that made you say yes to including that in your OS. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Candy Crush should not be pre-installed on anything. Candy Crush shouldn't even be installed on your computer. If you play Candy Crush, fuck you. I don't care. My own mother played Candy Crush for a while, and I tell her, fuck you. Candy Crush sucks ass, okay? It's terrible. Oh my god. I fucking hate it. Its only existence is to steal money from you and hopefully get you addicted to it. And pretty much, if you're the type of person that's likely to get addicted to a slot machine, oh my god, Candy Crush is made for you. I hate it. And I think it's wholly unacceptable that I don't care what amount of money was involved. It's a despicable thing to include Candy Crush. This is a company that thought they had, this is a company that had the balls, the absolute cojones to be we should copyright the word saga. Eat dick and die. I hope that company fucking burns. I hope every person there gets a better job somewhere else, fulfilling their passions and dreams, and then just takes a massive shit on the company behind Candy Crush. Fuck you. Anyway, rant about Candy Crush over. Windows 10 was fine. It was okay. I still like Windows 10 that much. But when Christmas came and I got an RX 6600 XT, just to prove that I'm on Windows right now. We'll just go ahead and switch over to my desktop right now so you can see that, like, I'm not lying. We are using Fedora. Yes, I do have Atom up in the background. If you have a problem with me using Atom, I mean, I gotta put it like it is. I won't sugarcoat it. I don't fucking care. Piss off. It's nice. If you want me to use something else, I'm sorry. That's cool, but I'm not interested. It just worked. It took like 2 seconds to install it. Looks half decent. I don't have to play around with anything. It's great. But I'm actually using Fedora. And you can see my hardware here. I got a 5700G and an RX 6600 XT for Christmas, which was mind-blowing. Extremely thankful. With that being said, with that new hardware, I had issues with Linux. I still do have issues, and we'll go into that. But I am on Linux to stay now. Just going to go ahead and quickly say that. The issues that I had with Linux are bountiful. I could go through them all, but I think we'll try and break it down with the reason why I went to Windows 11 pretty much off the bat with this computer. I had to fuck around with too much shit on Linux. That's the honest answer. I just had to fuck around with too much shit. I was going to have to configure Xorg, a whole bunch of stuff. I still technically have issues with some things on Linux, but they're minor and it doesn't really matter. It's fine. But with that being said, I've been working on this project, Open Dead, and I'm engrossed in it, very passionate about it, actually really excited to play the game myself and just have fun in the world. However, with that in mind, Windows was actually better. I decided just for shits and giggles, because I did have this, better hardware and everything, I'd go ahead and try Windows 11 on it and see. Really, in all honesty, I believe how it started off with me wanting to try Windows on it was mainly just to see if Windows 11 would even run on it, or if it would actually give me some like TPM bullshit or something like that. I know I've got a 5000 series CPU, that shouldn't be an issue, but just for shits and giggles. Turned out it's actually really good. That Cortana bitch, completely optional to have her ever talk to you throughout the install. She never says a thing, which is gorgeous. Look, we are all inside of this community at least aware of our privacy and try to take it. Again, everybody's different on their level of how seriously you take your privacy, or the measures that you're willing to take to secure your privacy. If you're someone who just doesn't fucking care about privacy at all you care about is convenience, holy shit, is Windows 11 really good. The telemetry is definitely still there. You'd be in retard to assume that Microsoft is not going to spy on you. They're definitely doing it. But it's a little bit more classy, in Windows 11. The telemetry shit is not in your face. You can't go into the resource monitor and just see it plain as day how much shit is going on behind the scenes to spy on you. It seems a lot less aggressive. The telemetry seems much more... Again, I know that I'm talking to a community where any telemetry is not okay, but the telemetry is at least more palatable in Windows 11. It's a little bit more sensible, we'll put it that way. And honest to God, I didn't have any issues. No issues whatsoever. I mean, none. Try to come up with audio. Always worked fine. Always worked fine. I'm trying to think. Graphics performance worked perfectly fine. The look and UI of Windows 11 is fine. I mean, some people like it more than others. Some people hate it more than others. If if you used to working in a floating window manager, if that's what you prefer, which oddly enough, I don't know what's happened to me, but over the past few months, I've come to love floating window managers again. Didn't think that was going to happen, but hey, it's happened. Yeah, it's fine. There are some things about it that I don't like. Like my taste wise, like how I would prefer things to look wise. But honest to God, the icon theme is pretty fucking good. You can theme it, and by theme it, I mean you can choose light or dark mode. That's pretty much it, and change the highlight color, whatever. I mean, that's still more than GNOME gives me here on Fedora, but still, I'm not complaining. It's just I'm pointing stuff out, okay? You can make Windows look slightly different. Epic. But yeah, in pretty much every way that matters when I want to get something done, when I want to do something, Windows was fine and actually pretty damn good at it. I didn't have to configure something, figure out how to overcome this issue, like none of that. I just installed a program, opened it up, and it worked. That's it. And I will go ahead and say, just because I was using Windows, I don't want you to assume that I didn't use any open source software whatsoever. Like, no, I love GIMP. Like, I'm not, just because I'm using Windows doesn't mean I want to pay Adobe or use Adobe's fucking shit software. Like, Adobe can go fucking die. Like, I hate that company. Like, no, I don't care. Like, yeah, Adobe does some really cool stuff. There's some stuff that you can do with Adobe that you can't do elsewhere. But I mean, you're a fucking prick. Why would I use your shit? Fuck off, Adobe. Like, no. And Premiere crashes like nobody's business. And I'm not even a Premiere user, and I've seen it crash on my friends multiple times. I ain't using that fucking shit. Piss off. Bye-bye. I got better free options. I got GIMP, Kdenlive. I use them all on Windows. GIMP, Kdenlive, Blender. You get the point. Used open source software. Worked fine. It was great. It was actually an overall really solid experience on Windows. Now, with that being said, I do just want to go ahead and address some things that have happened over the time, and I definitely will do a separate video on this. I'm sure it'll come out like tomorrow or something like that, and it'll be a shorter video, but I definitely, because this is going to be a long video if you can't tell, in the period that I was using Windows, I had quite a few people in the Linux community not berate me, but degrade me as a person for using Windows. I just want to go ahead and tell you guys this. If you care about Linux, and I fucking mean this, if you care about Linux and you degrade or belittle someone for trying Windows or using something else, you're not helping what you care about. You're actively fucking hurting it. And honest to God, you're a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'll fucking say it. You're a piece of shit. Hopefully, none of you are, that's who I'm actually talking to, because I doubt it. There was a few people that reached out, but not people that I've seen around on the channel, like most of you guys, and on the Discord. Pretty much everyone in my community was shocked that I was having a good experience with Windows, or that I was even liking it. Because, well, if you've watched me for a while, I've had like 45-minute drunken rants where I've talked about how much I fucking hate Microsoft. But yeah, most of my community has been really interested in it, and some people have also like come out like they're coming out of the closet or something, talking about how they've had a good experience with Windows 11, but are scared to say anything about it because in other communities they'll get bashed and bullied for saying it, which is terrible. Like, honestly, guys, like, I think we care about Linux here. And if you do care about Linux, the last way to sell someone on anything is to belittle them for not already using it. Like, What are you, a fucking moron? Like, what? Anyway, it's a sad thing to see come from the Linux community. Again, I know it's a minority versus the majority, but damn, like, it's a vocal minority. Jesus, like, y'all need to learn. You're not helping anyone. Yeah, I'm back on Linux, but it definitely wasn't because of some of the messages that I got from people in the Linux community. Definitely not. It's actually despite those people that I'm back on Linux. Like, I had a pretty good incentive to stay on Windows where everything was working, and the only people that were belittling me for using it were people who liked Linux, which I understand, but also at the same time, like, if I want to come back to Linux, you're not helping the appeal here. I mean, if that's the kind of mentality that we're fostering here in the community, we need to change. Big time, brother, big time. But anyway, had a great time on Windows 11. Everything worked. Everything was fine. Now let's talk. And again, this is honest. Okay, I love Linux. I'm happy to be back on it. I'm having a good time. I want you to understand that I am having a good time on Linux. It's fine here on Fedora. I really like Fedora. It's really nice. It's the most premium Linux experience that I've had. It's actually competitive with Mac and Linux, with some caveats, but actually competitive in how premium it feels. But my experience with Linux did not go well, okay? I started off switching between Arch, Elementary OS, Zorin OS, which I know some of y'all will hate that idea, but, tried that out. What did I try out? God damn, I tried out so much shit I can't even remember at this point. Tried out Solus Budgie, I don't even know. I mean, I tried out so many. Obviously, I tried out Linux Mint. Had a lot of issues. And I mean a lot of issues, especially when it came to Arch. Since, also another thing I got for Christmas was, again, please don't take this the wrong way. This is not me, like, bragging or anything. It sets you up for the story. I got this really nice 1440p monitor for Christmas that, I cannot believe the amount of shit I got for Christmas. I don't know how my family loves me this much. I genuinely don't think I'm this nice of a guy. I think I can be a piece of shit sometimes. Anyway, get this nice 1440p monitor here. It's 165 hertz. It's a gorgeous monitor. Fantastic. And now that I've also experienced 165 hertz, going back to 60. I'm sorry. There is a difference, especially when you like to play games like myself. There is definitely a fucking difference. I'd be lying to you if there's no difference. And anybody who has actually experienced 160 or above, 120 hertz and tells you there's no difference to 60 FPS, they're lying. I'll tell you straight to your face. They're lying or they have shit eyes. One of the two. On Linux, on Arch, and on quite a few other distros, Xrandr couldn't set the refresh rate for this monitor. And by couldn't set it, I want you to understand, because I did have quite a few, not arguments, but back and forth with people on the internet trying to get them to understand what I was saying. I don't mean that I ran the Xrandr command and it didn't work. I mean, I ran it, it worked. Xrandr reports the refresh rate as changed when it is clearly not, because I know what 165 hertz versus 60 hertz looks like now. I can tell there's a difference. On a lot of different Linux distros, it just didn't work. So I would have to go into Xorg itself, manually configure mode line, and also manually configure the preferred mode, which would be 2560 by 1440 by 100, or not by, but 165 hertz. Took a long time to get figured out because I've never really done that much with configuring Xorg. By the way, if you're hearing a train in the background, there is a train going on in the background. Live decently close to one. It was not working very well. It took me a long time to get figured out because I'm, again, an idiot, but I did. And the thing is every single time I would go into Linux, I would get about an hour and a half in of just configuring stuff or trying to solve issues, and then be like, well, because I've tried Windows 11 and I know how my computer can operate and how I can not have to fight with anything or fix any of these issues, I'll just go back. And most of the time, after an hour and a half of configuring Linux, in less than 25 minutes, maybe at most 30 minutes, be back up and running in Windows with all of my programs installed, all of my drivers, be exactly where I need to be to get work done on the game and continue on. And I know that's gonna piss some of you off, but that's the truth. It's really hard to justify spending so much time configuring everything, getting everything to work, when I'm no longer in that phase of where I want to tinker with my computer. I just fucking don't. I don't want to configure everything. I used to. And I understand that most of you want to. And that's what's interesting and awesome about Linux. That's fine. That's completely fine. And enjoy it for that reason. But that's not what I want. I want my computer to just fucking work so that I can get into the tools that I need to use. I want those tools to work the way that they're designed to. And make my game. That's it. That's it. Problem being, typically on Linux, that's really hard to do. Here on Fedora, it's been exceptionally great. I do want to go ahead and say I had one person tell me that like exFAT is like doesn't work on Linux for some reason. I don't know who the fuck this guy was or what he was saying or what was going on, but just so everyone can clear this up, Manjaro fucking sucks dick and balls, okay? Me and Matt tried Manjaro not too long ago. We were going to try and switch to it. If you're using Manjaro, that's awesome. Cool. If you love Manjaro, that's cool. If you're a Manjaro dev, cool. I'm just going to put it out there real to you. The fucking distro sucks tits. Steam doesn't work for some reason. It doesn't pull in Steam, like your Steam library from your exFAT drives, even though they're mounted completely fine and I can view all the files. To that guy who told me, oh, it's exFAT and that's why it doesn't work on Linux. One, I don't know what you're talking about because it works just fine on, now at this point I've tried 2 different distros, Mainline Arch and Fedora. Works fine on both, just importing my Steam library from my massive 14 terabyte drive because I had like 600 gigs of games, and this guy was just telling me, yeah, you're just gonna have to format it and do it. I'm like, if I'm gonna have to format my drive and download like 600 gigs of games, like, of what? Like, no, that's an unreasonable ask for most people. Like, nah, I'll pass. Yeah, so anyway, it was a super simple thing. Fedora, everything here works, but Manjaro did not treat me well. I don't think Matt had much more success with Manjaro. I don't think it treated him all that well either. Who knows? I don't know, he might have a video out on his channel that I haven't seen talking about it. I have been off YouTube for today, but I've ended up here on Fedora because I do want to get off of Windows because, well, you know, I don't really like Microsoft as a company, and I do actually like Linux, and so I would prefer to be able to use it it was just really hard to convince me to come over because Windows was just working. And that's kind of the thing. Like, they got that convenience factor down, dog. And if you're really wanting to fight for the Linux desktop, stop fucking making excuses for it not being convenient. Fix it. It needs to be convenient. Linux if you complain about people not wanting to use Linux, and then you make excuses when they tell you shit's not working, well, like, you should know how to fix this, or you should go here and learn how to fix it, or you should have the mentality that you fix it. Stop it. Fucking stop it. That's childish and stupid. No. Fix the problem. It shouldn't be a problem in the first place. At least Pop! OS has the good fucking decency to understand that being able, it doesn't matter that you didn't read the error messages, being able to remove the entire desktop environment is unacceptable. There you go. If I come in to your distro and I have to configure the audio subsystem or audio system to work, it's a problem. Telling me that there's a forum that I can go to figure out how to fix it, thank you. But at that point, for most people, peace. Like, imagine, like, God, for what kind of mentality is that where you're just like, well, it is fixed because there's an easy way to learn how to fix it. No, your user shouldn't have to learn how to fix it. Just fucking period. Okay, I think we can all agree on that. Shit should just work. It should. And then if you do extra configuration and odd things past that, well, you're in your own territory, brother. Like, that should be the way that things work, okay? Fedora has pretty much been that way. It has absolutely been fantastic. I'm going to go over here to the desktop and just continue talking while you look at my desktop here. So the first things first to talk about is Steam. Steam pulled in my entire library just fine. No problem. So I can go down here. Like, I didn't have to download or install anything here. It just worked, you know. Just pulled on everything in. I have no idea why I didn't want to move there. Yeah, it still doesn't want to move unless I mod move it, but whatever. Didn't really have to do all that much. Just did it shit. It was pretty nice. Pulled in all my stuff as Steam should. Okay. Just should. Pulled everything in perfectly here on Fedora. I also am working in Atom. Another thing is in mainline Arch, I was using the Linux Zen kernel, which could be causing issues. I understand that. But I was using the Zen kernel, and my Unity project, none of my post-processing effects would work. Couldn't use any of my post-processing effects, which was just fucking sick. And Unity was giving me an error. It was some type of kernel setting that it couldn't set, or some bullshit didn't exist. Whatever. I have no fucking clue. I'm too stupid for that shit. So here on Fedora, though, everything works beautifully, okay? Everything. Unity Hub works great. The Unity game engine works great. Specifically, because I know I'm going to get this comment, why aren't you using Godot? I thought you were making an open source game. The game is open source. All of the models, scripts, pretty much at least everything that I can give away, which I believe is the entire project, is open source. The engine's not. If that's a problem for you, I'm sorry. I think Unity and Unreal's licenses are pretty much the most fair out of a lot of the licenses that I've looked at. Pretty solid. I like them. I know they're not free. If you don't want to help out on the game or use any of the assets made in my project because it's not made with Godot or something else, that's fine. I really don't care. That's fine. But I like Unity. I'm used to Unity. I like it. Works fine here. Same with Audacity. Audacity works fine here as well. I know with the telemetry shit and all that stuff, a lot of people don't want to use it anymore, but Yeah, I'm using it. I'll just drag it over here so you can see it. I'm using it. The only thing I will go ahead and say is when it comes to Audacity here on Linux, you are, or here on Fedora, for some reason, the one that's from the like Fusion repos or whatever, the like regular Fedora repos, didn't work properly. Like, it wouldn't detect my default audio devices and everything. It could only use ALSA for some reason. Whatever. I just installed the FlatHub one from FlatHub and works fine. Which, let's be honest, you should probably getting most of your software. You're going to be getting most of your software from FlatHub anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, everything's working fine. I'm using Wayland because I just don't care, and Wayland's actually gotten to the point now where it's usable and kind of freaking nice. So that's epic. Pipewire is working half decent. I am not using any, like, on Pulse Audio, I can easily configure a module to do echo cancellation so that I can listen to like music and shit out of my speakers, and not, care about the microphone, like it having echoing back. As far as I know, inside of Pipewire, you can do that. There's a module in there. I have no fucking clue as to how to like manipulate it and use it. So if you do know how to set up the echo cancellation module for Pipewire, I would absolutely love it if you would leave a comment or come on over to the Discord and help me out. I would kiss you very much, good sir, or woman, but I doubt it. According to YouTube, female doesn't see this channel ever. It's never seen, a person with boobs has never seen this channel, according to YouTube. Don't know if that's really a fact, but hey. So if you do know how to do that, please reach out. I would freaking love it. So yeah, this has kind of been my review or talking about my journey through Windows, back to Linux. I'm here on Fedora. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. It's actually working really well. There are some still minor things with Linux that I notice as a downgrade from Windows. Inside of Unity itself, which I don't think this is a Unity problem itself. I don't think so. My max FPS in there, like that it will top out at, is 60 in the project, whereas in the same exact scene with the same exact things happening on Windows, I'm topping out at my screen's actual full resolution, which is 165 hertz. So that's a problem per se, but in all reality, I think it's not really Unity's fault, or I'm really not sure where the problem's coming from there. But at the end of the day, the game still runs perfectly fine, and if it's locked at 60 or locked at 165 hertz, doesn't matter, still doing really good. And I can always use the profiler to get more accurate information as to how well I'm doing optimizing the game. So that's not that big of a deal. I'm trying to think if there's any other minor annoyance or issue that I've had here on Fedora, performance wise. On Arch, I had quite a few issues gaming wise on Valheim. Introducing VSync and all this, like it would cause issues, whatever. Here on Fedora, everything just works fine. It's perfect. Valheim actually runs perfectly fine, like out of the box, no problems. And me and few people from my Discord, few friends on the Discord, we've been going ham at Valheim, or they have. I'm gonna have to start joining in here soon because it just seems so damn appealing. But yeah, this has been my experience with getting back to Linux and everything. So hopefully this didn't piss you off. I know this is a super long video, and I'm probably not going to do any edits to it because why? It's fine. I've just been ranting. hopefully you enjoyed it. And also, I will go ahead and say, I know I said that I wasn't going to be doing videos and just like live streaming like the game's development every day. I genuinely don't know how that's going to go, because I do want to get, there's some videos covering some stuff that I want to talk about, and so those will be coming out. And also there's some stuff that I'm doing that it kind of is just better to do off camera because it's really fucking boring. At least I assume. And also I kind of learned from the last live stream that I spend too much time answering questions and talking with chat and don't get pretty much any work done during the live stream. So yeah, expect videos instead of live streams at the very least. You're not getting no content, that's for damn sure. But I hope all of you guys have had a great one. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope the day has treated you well up until this point, and it treats you well until the end of it. I've had a good one talking with you. It's been a great time getting this shit off my chest and telling my story. Tell me what you thought of it below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.